Hey, it's Tammy Jersey Roberts with your Vitality Boost. Today I'm talking about Spring Vitality Boost. We're in week number 2, and I just wanted to run through the grocery list real fast. But first, I want to show you the menu, just so you know what we're buying stuff for. This is week number 2 on the Spring Vitality Boost, and we have the berry baked oatmeal, the post-workout green smoothie, dark chocolate and walnuts, grapes and walnuts, asparagus, cucumber, and feta salad with balsamic dressing, butter chicken and cauliflower rice, celery with peanut butter and apples with peanut butter, and cheesy edamame and parsley pasta, which I usually use peas instead, honey garlic chickpeas with asparagus and rice. And sounds delicious. Here we go. So I'm just going to go straight to my Walmart online shopping cart. And so the very first thing on the list are apples. So you want to you can get any kind of apples that you want. And of course you do want to wash these in vinegar. If they're organic or not, I'd still wash them in some vinegar water. Let them soak. You can get green, red, yellow, whatever kind you like. And I sometimes just buy some of these that are already sliced up, and I just rinse them in some vinegar water before I put them in the little baggies to divide them up for the week. Avocados, you can get any kind of avocados. You probably have some left from last week, but in case you don't, just pick one up. The Haas avocados, just fine. Bananas, we talked about those. You can get organic or regular. They're about the same price these days for either one. Grapes. I love the red grapes, but any kind of grapes are fine. These are really sweet. The Globe Red seedless grapes, or these have seeds in them, but they're very sweet. These are the seedless ones, which is fine too. But again, you want to wash those in vinegar water for sure, because grapes are one of those things that are heavily sprayed with pesticides and they pick up mold really easy. And you don't want to eat that. Okay, peanut butter. We talked about that. You want to get peanut butter that only has peanuts, or you can make your own in the food processor by just adding some peanuts in there, raw peanuts, and just blend them up in the food processor. Maple syrup, again, try to get organic on that. I'll show you the brand here. The darker the maple syrup, the more nutrients it has in it. No, that's not the organic one, but they do have them. Well, they could be sold out, but they do have an organic one that's, oh, here it is, sold out, but it's about $5.98 for 8.5 ounces of it. But definitely I would try to get the organic maple syrup. Black pepper, cashews, get the raw, unsalted, unroasted, just get the plain cashews. Chia seeds, I'm sure you have some of those left from last week. Chili powder, cinnamon, curry powder. Garam masala, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is a blend of a bunch of different spices. It's got cumin and coriander and cardamom, and every blend of it is different. And you can buy it already mixed up, like here's one right here. Other spices like that, or you can Google that and get the ingredients and just kind of make your own. Totally fine. It's kind of like, I don't want to say curry because it's not a curry, but it is a blend of a bunch of different Indian spices, and it's delicious. Garlic powder, paprika, sea salt. I'm not going to do a big thing on sea salt, but this Himalayan pink sea salt's fine. These are processed. They're bleached, so I would try to avoid that. There's, different kinds, and you want the kind that does not have the iodine in it. This Mediterranean sea salt is probably fine. This one doesn't have the grinder on the top. This is the refill. But it's probably okay. There is a brand that isn't sold at Walmart. It's called Real Salt, R-E-A-L salt. And okay, so we have sliced almonds. So you want to try to get almonds that are just unsalted, unroasted. Here's some right here that the only thing in the package are almonds. There's no salt, there's nothing else, and they're unroasted. So that would be perfect. Let's see, I'm sorry, I'm looking over to the side here. So you can get the same thing with slivered almonds, same thing with walnuts. 2 cups of frozen berries, just get a bag of the mixed berries. The frozen edamame, I usually just use frozen peas. I love peas and that's delicious. So asparagus, same thing. There's really not much to show you on that. But again, with all the produce, just soak them in some vinegar water in your sink. Just fill up the sink with vinegar or with water, and pour in, about a 1/4 cup for the whole sink of the white vinegar. So this is a good size package right here, 10 ounces, probably be enough. Depends how many portions that you're making, of course, but don't get the can or the one here that's pickled. Let's see here. Spinach, cauliflower, celery, cucumbers, garlic. I just buy the minced garlic in a jar because it's just so much easier than dealing with all of that. And here's an organic one here. I also really love, love, love anything from Lighthouse because it's only the herb, it's nothing else in there, and they're just dehydrated and they're really delicious. They've got all kinds of things, and they keep longer. So that's kind of the thing. If you're single like me and you don't use everything all the time, you can keep these in your cabinet. And they're glass jars, and they're a really high conscious, I guess, socially conscious company. There's nothing in there but the herbs, and they don't. I also have some ginger from them, but you can get the ginger root that you probably have in your freezer from last week. They also have parsley, but you can buy fresh parsley, yellow onions, brown rice spaghetti. That was one of the things last week that we had a question about. So I'm just going to show you what they've got here. But you can find brown rice spaghetti anywhere, but you just kind of want to check it to make sure there's not a bunch of chemicals in it, because people put processing chemicals to try to give it a longer shelf life. Of course, like here's an example of one right here that says, this is a good one: organic brown rice flour, organic quinoa flour, and that's all that's in there. And this is a pasta that you could use for that spaghetti. I don't see the other one that they had last week. Let me check the brand name and see if it's on here. Could be under noodles. I typed it wrong, but here it is right here. Oh no. Actually, scratch that. It's not it. See how much fun we're having? Oh. Those are full of gluten. Wait, I don't see them here this week. So if you check last week's video, there's this brand right here. They usually have anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. So we found one good one here, but just check out any brown rice pasta and get the one that has the least amount of chemicals in it. Chickpeas. Another name for chickpeas are garbanzo beans, which I did not know when I first started doing all this. Here's one brand here. These are not organic, and they do have some chemicals in them, so I make sure that I wash them in vinegar water, but you can see that they're only 58 cents. And one can has about 1.5 cups. So here's the organic ones, but they're sold out. So that's why it's not coming up. But 15 ounces comes out to about 1.5 cups. Or you can always get the dry beans and cook them, soak them and cook them. The jasmine rice, it's delicious. And it smells so good. And they also have jasmine brown rice if you prefer that. A little bit nuttier tasting, but still delicious. This is so funny that all this stuff is sold out. So I think this would also be delicious. Organic wild rice that you could substitute. Just get a good quality rice. I don't see any here, but none of these that are ready rice or packaged or anything like that. You want the kind that is the long cooking rice. Organic coconut milk. Again, we talked about coconut milk last week, but it's so simple to make them. Just put a cup of coconut in your blender, fill it up with water, about 1/4 of water, and just blend it up. If you want the milk thicker, just add some more coconut, and then you can strain it, or you don't have to strain it. It's not that bad with the pulp in it. So delicious, actually. And then you know that the only thing in there is coconut and water. Tomato paste, you know what that is. Dark organic chocolate, we talked about that last week too. And I'll show it one more time, the one that I usually get, because it's got a different type of sugar in it. And it's got the cacao butter in it, which is a long chain saturated fat. So it makes you feel full and blends really well. It also really helps with giving you energy and building up that mitochondria, and it's critical too for helping you balance your hormones and bring your hormones into homeostasis. Nutritional yeast, that's optional. It tastes kind of like Parmesan cheese, but a lot stronger, I think. 2 cups of oats, get the gluten-free. Raw honey, unsweetened applesauce, and just get chicken breasts, and some feta cheese. That's all the meat for this week. And then 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Let's see if there are what kind of brands they have on that. All of these look fine. You want to look for it in a glass jar. That's really the most important thing. And also try to find one that doesn't have a lot of additives, but it probably doesn't matter that much since vinegar is going to take care of that anyways. Coconut oil. You want the extra virgin cold pressed, organic. Dijon mustard. Any of those are fine. The extra virgin olive oil, you want to try to get organic when you can in a glass jar. You probably have some of that left from last week. Unsweetened almond milk. We did a long thing on almond milk last week, but it's just so easy to soak a half a cup of almonds. Or if you don't have time to soak them, you can just add some warm water and have them soak for about 15 minutes versus 4 to 6 hours or overnight. And just put them in your blender, about a quart of water. Turn on that blender for a minute or so. Just let everything blend up and you'll see the milk. And then just strain off the pulp. And that's great for your garden, or you can just throw it out, either one. Protein powder. Yeah, I do use some fantastic whey protein powder. So I don't want to say any brand names on this video, but do give me a call if that's something that you want to get one that's the top-notch one without a lot of sugar, and it's also fantastic for weight management. And water. Of course, you always want to try to use filtered water whenever possible. So that was it. So that was super easy. And if you have any questions or not sure about something, please put it in the private Facebook group or send me a message through my Facebook page, Your Vitality Network. Tammy Jersey Roberts. Spring Vitality Boost. That was week 2.